Your Excellency, I'm sorry that Dr. Maria Fungomeri, she is still carrying our banner in the United Kingdom. She is attending another important conference, so she is not with us today. But we recognize her in absentia. Your Excellency, allow me to say something. That this trajectory of our scientists performing very well, nationally, regionally, and internationally, is somehow threatened, and badly so by the consolate workforce and weak staff retention capacity. We have had exodus of our staff moving from National Museums of Kenya to other research organizations abroad and also within Africa. We have some of our scientists in South Africa. And from 2017, it is almost 20 years of exemplary service and resilience against a backdrop of increasing and unflinching weight of inflation and other economic dynamics. We would therefore highly appreciate a higher increase for our staff. Your Excellency, sir, as I finish, allow me to invite my board chairman to say hi and invite other board directors. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Excellency. I've written a speech, but I left it down there because of time. So I'll put it aside. So members will excuse me for that. But nonetheless, let me introduce the board members. Would you like to come in front here very quickly so that you... Okay, just stand where you are. We have, there are 8 of them. Those are the board members that serve and run this institution. So from there, we'll start with Kiprop. You want to say your name? Just shout. Chris Foot, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yasmin. Adan Nuri, thank you very much. John Genderitu, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ruben. Stephen Gambare, he always says from Masabit, thank you very much. Thank you, Kiprop Lagat. So those are the board members. Now, I will not say anything, but there's something we missed out, Your Excellency. We have a very big appetite in this country for land, which lies fallow. From these so-called developers, they have been a very big challenge to us, and we really need help on that. We need to secure our sites. We've got over 400 sites. That's a very massive, Nini, and it's a big, big budget. So we'll keep on coming to you all the time. Please don't grow tired. My name is Edwin Abonyo. I'm the chairman of National Museums of Kenya for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obonyo. Your Excellency, they've mentioned 8 UNESCO heritage sites, and for the benefit of us to just appreciate which those sites are, we'll have a short video presentation before we invite PS Umi to come and take over the program. So let's have a short video presentation, please.
Kenya, a country where history, culture, and nature intertwine, home to 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Each represents a unique chapter of our shared human story. Let's journey through this remarkable sites, celebrated globally for their significance to humanity. The Lake Turkana National Parks were inscribed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1997. Its 3 national parks Particularly, Sibiloi National Park is home to remarkable paleontological treasures, including early human remains and archaeological evidence that has placed Kenya on the world map as the home of human origins. Alongside the ancient petrified forests in Sibiloi that date to around 11 million years ago, to vital habitats that crocodiles and migratory birds in both the central and southern islands, the sites have profoundly shaped our understanding of human evolution, solidifying Lake Turkana's significance in the story of humanity. Mount Kenya, inscribed in 1997 and extended in 2013 to include the Lower Wildlife Conservancy, is Africa's second highest peak. Renowned for its glaciers, unique ecosystems, and profound cultural significance, it stands as both an ecological treasure and a spiritual marvel. Recognized in 2001, Lamu Old Town is the oldest and best preserved Swahili settlement in East Africa. Its architecture, shaped by Bantu, Arab, Persian, and European influences, reflects 700 years of continuous habitation. Lamu remains a volcanic landscapes provide a vital link in the African-Eurasian flyway system. Tim Lich Odinga, inscribed in 2018, is a 16th century settlement in the Lake Victoria region. Its unique stone enclosures, built without mortar, served as fortresses and community spaces for early pastoral societies. The site offers insight into ancient migration and settlement patterns in sub-Saharan Africa. Inscribed in July 2024, Gedi is Kenya's 8th UNESCO World Heritage Site. The inscription of Gedi is a momentous milestone in the nation's commitment to preserving its heritage. Once a flourishing Swahili city from the 10th to 17th century, Gedi showcases remarkable urban planning and architecture, a testament to the centuries of vibrant maritime trade along the Indian Ocean. Its inclusion as a UNESCO site underscores the global significance of Kenya's rich coastal heritage and its enduring legacy. From the ancient human remains to stunning natural wonders, Kenya is truly not only the home of human origins, but also a hub of innovation and a beacon of ancient civilizations. As we honor these extraordinary treasures, let us pledge to protect and preserve them for generations to come.
Beautiful country we have here, and hopefully now that we're getting to the Christmas festivities, we'll be able to visit some of them. Your Excellency, allow me to now invite PS Umi Bashir, the PS Culture and Heritage, to take over the program. Let's welcome her with a clap. Karibu sana, Madam PS.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, PCS, present, CS, present, Governor Kilifi, Mungaro, present, ambassadors present, and MPs present, and the staff from NMK. Hamjambo. Mine will be very short. I want to welcome the ambassadors who have partnered with us in this journey, Your Excellency. And probably also to mention that we have with us the ambassador of Oman present with us, here with us. Maybe she can stand and wave to us. Thank you, Your Excellency. We have representation from the Chinese embassy. Probably you could stand and wave to us. Thank you. Your Excellency, we also have the French ambassador here with us this afternoon. We also have the German ambassador, Sebastian, here with us today. High Commissioner, British, is also here, the High Commissioner, Neil Wigan. We have UNESCO here, and the main core of activities is here for that. We have the Australian High Commissioner with us today. Please, maybe you could stand and wave. There he is. Thank you for making time for this. So, Your Excellency, just to point out, we are the 5th in the whole of the African continent when it comes to UNESCO World Heritage Sites. South Africa is the first with 12 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We have Ethiopia, which has 12 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We have Tunisia, and finally we have Morocco. They each have 9. And then us, Kenya, we have now the 8th one. So I think we should clap for ourselves. We are doing so well. Your Excellency, welcome to NMK, and we're very happy to have you here because you're the first sitting Kenyan president to visit the National Museums of Kenya. So thank you so much, Your Excellency. That aside, Your Excellency, I'd like to wish our Turkana boy the 40th anniversary. Happy birthday to Turkana boy. But it's not the year that he was actually born, it's the year that we found him as Kenya. So happy 40th birthday to him. Your Excellency, today we're also going to acknowledge the migrated archives from the British High Commission, and that is the main reason why the British High Commission is here. I'd like to also say, Your Excellency, that eCitizen is working perfectly, and we are raising the number of tourists thanks to our partnership with the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. And we have been having so many tourists coming here, and thank God eCitizen is active. So, Your Excellency, with those few remarks, I'd like to now call British High Commissioner Neil Wigan to come and make his remarks. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency Prime Cabinet Secretary, CS, PS, Governors, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. So I have to say this is, for me, very exciting because I first visited Kenya in 1977 and I still remember seeing the Gedi ruins on that first visit, and it's something that gave me an interest in history which I still have today. So to see them recognized like this is something truly impressive as part of Kenya's contribution to global history and culture, which we saw set out before. But I'm here today, as the PS said, because as Britain we often talk about our shared history with Kenya. And so today, just a day after Kenya celebrated its Day of Independence, Jamhuri Day, it's an opportunity for us to make a concrete contribution to the study of Kenyan history. And so I'm therefore formally handing over today digital archives from the colonial era kept in the British Archives to the Kenyan National Archives and handing them over to His Excellency. And so these are archives which date from 1907 to 1968, so the full era. They consist of 2,658 files, over 300,000 images, and to give you an idea of what that means, that takes 5 hard drives and almost 10 terabytes of data. And that includes files from the Ministry of Internal Security, from the Office of the Governor, and from other colonial government institutions. It includes files documenting the Mau Mau period. It includes intelligence reports and summaries of African political parties, associations, and leaders. So we're handing over some of the most sensitive files on the most sensitive issues on the most sensitive times. And as well as handing over the files themselves, we're also handing over the technology, a server, software, and laptops to the Kenyan National Archives, so that Kenyan researchers and historians can use these archives to tell Kenya's history properly. This is part of our commitment to be as open as we can be about our shared history, including its darkest moments and its most difficult issues. We aim to engage and to listen and to build our ties with communities impacted by colonial rule. His Majesty the King set the example during his state visit last year, including during his speech at the state banquet in front of His Excellency, but also meeting privately with individuals, communities and families particularly affected by British rule to understand their stories and what really happened. And he's instructed us to deepen our links with those communities. So this year, for the first time, we've attended commemorative events for Dedan Kimathi, Koitalel Samoei and other heroes of Kenya's history. We're working to do more, to create an inventory of artifacts of Kenyan which are held in the UK, to donate books to the Koitalel Samoei Memorial Library, to allow communities like the Nandi community to have virtual tours of exhibits held of their history in the UK. And last month I handed over medals to 20 Kenyan veterans of the Second World War. We're doing this because we believe that to focus on the future, we need to address our past in this open way. My Prime Minister and His Excellency the Presidency agreed in September to renew our partnership in the future, our strategic partnership for the future. And today's handover underscores our dedication to strengthening those ties in 2025 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to call, before I call UNESCO, Dr. Louise, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Japanese and also the Royal Thai ambassadors who are here with us today. Sorry for the oversight. Probably you could stand and wave from wherever you are. Thank you so much for making time. There's also the ambassador from Eritrea who's here with us today. Thank you so much. So, Excellency, I'd like to quickly call upon Dr. Louise Haxenberger Oxentop, the UNESCO regional director, who helped us with this journey of getting us the certificate, and the main reason we are here today. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, Honorable Cabinet Secretaries, PS Umi Bashir, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride and honor that I stand here today representing UNESCO to mark this historic occasion, the official handover of the World Heritage Certificate for the historical and archaeological site of Gedi, Kenya's newest addition to the prestigious UNESCO World Heritage List. Gedi's inscription as the 8th World Heritage Site in Kenya is a testament to the nation's rich history, cultural diversity, and unwavering commitment to preserving its cultural and natural heritage. It joins a distinguished group of Kenyan sites already inscribed on the World Heritage List. I had planned to read them out to you, but we have just seen this short video where you saw all the sites mentioned and presented. And each of these sites represents an invaluable chapter in Kenya's narrative, showcasing the interwoven heritage of its people and its landscapes. Your Excellency, the recognition of Gedi is particularly significant. Nestled in the heart of the Kenyan coast, this ancient Swahili town exemplifies the interplay of diverse cultures and civilizations over centuries. The architectural remains of Gedi speak of a once thriving urban settlement embodying a legacy of ingenuity, trade, and resilience. Gedi is more than its built architecture. It is a living testament to the stories and values of the people who once called it home and the communities who now safeguard its legacy. Its preservation honors the past and also connects us to the present and inspires future generations. Article 11 of the Constitution of Kenya recognizes culture as a cornerstone of the nation's identity, heritage, and development. This constitutional commitment reflects the deep respect for the vital role culture plays in fostering unity, resilience, and sustainable progress. It is within this framework that today's milestone is especially meaningful. UNESCO takes immense pride in supporting Kenya in achieving this milestone and stands ready to work with the government of Kenya to ensure the sustainable preservation of this historic and archaeological site. This commitment extends beyond conservation. It encompasses the empowerment of local communities, fostering resilience, and promoting inclusive socio-economic benefits through cultural heritage. The preservation of Gedi must resonate with the needs and aspirations of the communities. UNESCO advocates for a people-centered approach, empowering local residents, women, young people, indigenous communities alike to become custodians of this heritage. When heritage serves the people, it becomes a driver of identity pride, but also of sustainable development. As we celebrate Kenya's achievement in ratifying the core cultural conventions, I invite you to ensure the ratification of the 2001 Convention on the Protection of Underwater Cultural Heritage, a lot of underwater cultural heritage here in Kenya, and the 1954 Hague Convention for the protection of cultural property in the event of armed conflict, and that serves more broadly for the prevention of protection of cultural heritage faced by threats including climate change. Kenya's commitment to the other convention has already demonstrated its leadership and dedication to cultural preservation. Ratifying these two conventions will further solidify that commitment on the global stage. The inscription of Gedi represents Kenya's growing global recognition in cultural preservation. It is a reaffirmation of the nation's leadership in upholding the values of heritage, identity, and shared humanity. With this achievement, Kenya reinforces its position as a leader of cultural and natural diversity conservation, inspiring the region and the world. In closing, let me reiterate UNESCO's commitment to Kenya and its cultural heritage. As we celebrate Gedi today, let us renew our shared dedication to safeguarding the past while building a sustainable future. The journey ahead requires collective action. Governments, communities, the international community must come together to ensure that our heritage is not only preserved, but also leveraged for the benefit of all. Together we can ensure that Gedi historical and archaeological site, like the 7 sites before it, remains a shining example of Kenya's cultural brilliance and a source of pride for generations to come. Congratulations to you, to the people of Kenya, and thank you for entrusting UNESCO to work this journey with you. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Dr. Louise Haxonsen. I hope I pronounced it correctly. So I'd like to call upon Governor Kilifi County, where Gedi Ruins is situated, and we also have the area MP for Kilifi North, where Gedi National Monument is. So I'd like to call upon His Excellency the Governor to come and make a few remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President, the Republic of Kenya, and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, all protocol observed. Let me give 2 minutes to my colleague, the area MP for Kilifi North, where Gedi Ruins is situated, to say jambo.
Thank you, the President and distinguished guests. My name is Owen Baya, a Member of Parliament for Kilifi North, where Gedi is situated. And it's an exciting time for us in Kilifi and Kilifi North, and that we are receiving this honor that we continue to host and continue to sustainably grow Gedi, so that it becomes that World Heritage Site that we always want to be. Kilifi somehow has 2 of those sites, the Kaya, and I think it's the only county that has 2. And I hope there will be a 3rd one very soon, because I think we have more heritage in Kilifi. So I want you to look at the Portuguese mosque in Malindi, the Vasco da Gama pillar. You know those things. Yes, give us a 3rd one for Kilifi. Thank you very much, Governor. I thank you.
Thank you. I'll be very brief. I know thank you very much. It is with immense pride and profound gratitude that I stand before you today as we celebrate a momentous milestone for Kilifi County, Kenya, and indeed the world. The inscription of the historic town and archaeological site of Gedi town by the UNESCO World Heritage, as a UNESCO World Heritage list, is a testament to our rich history, cultural heritage, and the enduring legacy of our ancestors. It is a day of pride, recognition, and immense opportunity. On behalf of the people of Kilifi County, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the State Department for Culture, the Arts and Heritage, and the National Museums of Kenya for their tireless efforts in achieving this honor. The inclusion of Gedi on the World Heritage Sites list is a tribute to your dedication to preserving Kenya's heritage and showcasing it to the world. The historic town and archaeological site of Gedi is a unique window into our past, offering invaluable insights into the Swahili culture, trade networks, and architectural ingenuity that thrived along our coasts centuries ago. Its designation as Kenya's 8th World Heritage Site solidifies its place not only in our national narrative but also as a global treasure to be celebrated, studied and preserved. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, this achievement is not just about preserving history. It is also about creating a sustainable future. The designation of Gedi as a World Heritage Site brings with it opportunities for tourism, education and community development. Kilifi County is committed to working with the national government, UNESCO and all stakeholders to ensure that the potential of this site is fully realized for the benefit of our people. Tourism, as we know, is a key pillar of Kilifi's economy. With the inscription of Gedi, we anticipate a surge in cultural and heritage tourism that will bring in investments, job creation and opportunities. For local businesses, however, this growth must be balanced with a steadfast commitment to conservation and sustainability. As custodians of this heritage, we must ensure that Gedi remains intact for generations to come. This celebration also calls upon us to recognize the communities that have lived around Gedi and safeguarded its significance over the years. Their role in preserving this site is invaluable, and they must be at the forefront of any plans for its development and management. Inclusive growth and community empowerment are not just ideals, they are imperatives. Your Excellency, as we mark this milestone, allow me to affirm Kilifi County's commitment to fostering partnerships that align with our shared vision of cultural preservation and socio-economic growth. Together with the national government and international partners, we will prioritize the development of infrastructure and programs that enhance the accessibility, visibility and educational values of Gedi while safeguarding its authenticity. In conclusion, today is a celebration of the past and a call to action for the future. Let Gedi's story inspire us all to protect our heritage, nurture our identity, and invest in the promise of a brighter tomorrow for Kilifi County, Kenya and the world. Thank you. Asanteni sana.
Next, Your Excellency, probably I'd like to also acknowledge the team, the NMK team that represented us, led by Professor Abunga. I don't know if any of them are here today. They really worked hard, Your Excellency. Please stand. They really, really pushed and lobbied for us to get this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Please clap for them. Thank you so much. You may sit. Your Excellency, probably now is an opportunity to also mention that we have ratified the UNESCO 1970 Convention as a country for repatriation of stolen artifacts, the import and export of these artifacts. We had never ratified it as a country, but finally we did, and now we have a seat at the table. So that is one of the reasons why you see now countries, repatriating our artifacts back home. With those few remarks, Excellency, I'd like to now welcome Waziri Rebecca Miano. Karibu sana Waziri.
Your Excellency, the President, the inscription of Gedi as a UNESCO World Heritage is historic and significant for tourism in Kenya. We are here to witness one more reason why tourists should visit Kenya in their numbers, especially because we have a target to increase our numbers to 5 million by the year 2027. I call upon all Kenyans to be the very first to visit Gedi after its inscription and also all the other heritage sites. Any country worth its tourism salt is known for its museums and heritage sites, and we are proud as Kenya. And also the Kenya Wildlife Service, together with the national museums, are joint core focal points for management of the UNESCO heritage sites. KWS and the DG is here, are managing 3 sites, while the others are under UNESCO. It is my pleasure now to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who is also the Cabinet Secretary for Gender, Culture, the Arts, and the Heritage. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, government and public officials here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellency, I have also abandoned my speech, my written one, because sometimes a story is better told when it is natural. But let me just start by saying that the stars are aligned. The stars are aligned because if there is somebody who is at home today, is the President of the Republic of Kenya. He's a scientist by training. And today, as I walked with him, as we were being shown around, I listened in awe and with a measure of envy. He was so comfortable in the corridors and asking the relevant questions, away from the hard issues of fiscal policy and other matters. He was really at it. So why do I say the stars are aligned? The stars are aligned because it is also the first time in Kenya's history that we have a scientist as a president. And therefore, if scientists have something to pursue, you may never get a better moment than this one. This is a good opportunity so that we can have sufficient emphasis on matter science, because you have one of you sitting at the highest office in our country. The second thing I just want to touch on very quickly, as we thank UNESCO and all the people involved, is that this is a very significant development because it also blends in with the initiative around the African Union on some very critical areas. Apart from repatriation, there's also the raging debate that is not easy to deal with about reparations. And all this is a step towards resolving some of those bigger challenges. And our president is the champion of the African Union reform issues, and this again gives him an insight into other areas that may require fresh attention. Finally, Your Excellency, just to assure you that we will work well with the department, which has done so well in bringing us here this afternoon, so that we can all celebrate this very important achievement by the people of Kenya in collaboration with our partners in being able to get the Gedi ruins to this level. The other thing, for me it's a first. I thought I had seen votes in banks. Today, I realized that the past can also be guarded even more securely than money in a bank vault by the National Museum. So we really want to congratulate you and your team for preserving this heritage. So ladies and gentlemen, if you can all be upstanding so that we can invite His Excellency the President to make his address to us and share his encounter as a scientist. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PCS. Please let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Good afternoon. I am delighted to join you this afternoon as we celebrate the inscription of the Gedi ruins onto the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization's list of World Heritage Sites. This event offers us a unique opportunity to highlight the monument's exceptional universal value as a global treasure of culture, historical and educational significance. The people of Kenya take immense pride in being custodians of magnificent sites of global importance inscribed onto the UNESCO World Heritage List. This includes, as we were shown here, the Sacred Kaya Mijikenda Forest, Lamu Old Town, Fort Jesus National Monument, Thin Lich Hoinga Archaeological Site, the Kenya Lake System in the Great Rift Valley, Lake Turkana National Parks, and Mount Kenya National Park and Natural Forest. Together, these sites showcase our country's rich cultural and natural heritage. The addition of the Gedi National Monument to Kenya's heritage inventory reaffirms our commitment to preserving our historical and archaeological legacy for the benefit of humanity. I appreciate the impact of UNESCO World Heritage in championing the preservation of humanity's significant universal treasures. This recognition powerfully drives sustainable development, defines cultures, histories, and identities, enhances livelihoods, and promotes tourism. We are encouraged by the acknowledgement of our efforts in safeguarding the region's highest number of World Heritage Sites. At the same time, we are keenly aware of the benefits of holding these sites in trust for the present and also for future generations. Our ongoing effort to enhance the authenticity of heritage sites throughout the country aims to add more to this list, thereby strengthening Kenya's global stature as a premier tourism destination. Africa possesses an incredibly rich and dynamic culture and natural heritage. However, current heritage monument approaches often fail to align with African culture context, creating a disconnect between international heritage discourse and local realities. It is concerning that as a continent of 54 nations and 1.4 million people, Africa contributes only 147 listed elements, representing just 10% of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. This raises questions about the fairness and maybe the methodology and foundations of current classification and listing mechanisms, suggesting that Africa may not be receiving equitable representation. Maybe I have also contributed to that problem by abandoning my scientific discourse and going and doing something else. Maybe if I were around to help my colleagues here, maybe we would be doing better. But I will see what I can do to make sure that we do better. I have listened to the Director General, Mary, and just for the record, I spent 3 years of my university education in the same class with Mary. And if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, possibly I could be somewhere in this building. Because many of my classmates ended up in scientific research institutions, in this institution, in Kemri, and in others. So I am truly privileged to be here in this compound. I was reminding Mary, we came here for some of the lessons on human evolution. And Dr. Leakey took us through what it was that we were learning then. And I am very proud of the progress the National Museums has made, and I promise to make a contribution to further progress. I agree that we're not paying our scientists as we should. Many of them are under the public service, and therefore there is need to relook at their terms of service, their salaries, and therefore, as has been requested by the Director General here, I will get the head of public service to do the needful, to get a small team to give us an assessment of what needs to be done, so that we can match the remuneration of other scientists around our region, and maybe do better. I am not doing this because possibly I could become a beneficiary. Maybe when I'm done with what I'm doing, I could take up my scientific discourse here or in another place. But I think they truly deserve the hemorrhage, the attrition, the many scientists who have left our science ecosystem in Kenya is a testimony that there isn't something we're not getting right. So we should get it right, and I will undertake the needful, Director General and the people who work in this museum. Secondly, I agree with Edwin, the chair, Mr. Obonyo here, that we need to protect the assets and the resources and the sites that we have. And therefore, again, the government of Kenya is going to work with the ministry to make sure that we create the necessary resources for us to protect, fence, guard those sites. And thirdly, I've gone through the many assets and historical artifacts that we have, and I have seen their condition. That is not how they should be. They should be in a better environment, because we risk actually these very important assets going to waste. And therefore, I agree that we need to expand the physical facilities at the museum here and at Uhuru Gardens, so that we can have appropriate storage and appropriate display of the wealth of historical assets that we have. Therefore, the Ministry of Madam Umi here, we're going to get you 1 billion shillings to start, because we need to develop another building here, and we need to expand a bigger building in Uhuru Gardens, so that all these things, we have them locked up in places, we can display them appropriately. And because the largest beneficiary of all this is the Ministry of Tourism, I will get some resources from the tourism promotion. I know where to get the money. So, I know who is going to pay for this. And I want to ask our partners, if we can together create a small fund. I am willing for all of us to put together, maybe Director General and the ministry, if you can put together a team that can help us, so that even as we put in resources as Government of Kenya, if we can also interest partners, friends. Neil has taken the first step in doing what he's doing. I'm sure we have in our midst friends and partners who share the past with us, friends who have goodwill for this nation. If we can put our resources together, maybe we can also ask UNESCO to help us mobilize some resources so that we can better protect this heritage, because it is good for Kenya, but it is good for humanity as well. So again, PCS, maybe you can put together a small team and invite our development partners to see what we can do together. It is encouraging that UNESCO shares these concerns, the ones I just stated, which have been raised by African Union and individual African states. In response, we have taken resolute actions to address these issues. With the support of UNESCO and the government of Japan, Kenya will have the honor of hosting the International Conference on Heritage Authenticity in May 2025. I eagerly anticipate the Nairobi Declaration on Heritage Authenticity, which will inform necessary changes and enhance Africa's heritage listing. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya's natural and cultural sites, including the National Museum of Kenya, are among the most visited attractions, drawing both domestic and international tourists. The Nairobi National Museum, a world-class facility, houses one of Africa's largest scientific collection, with over 10 million curated items. These collections represent groundbreaking research whose impact extends beyond our borders. Kenya is globally recognized as the home of human origins because we host numerous archaeological sites where important scientific research has uncovered definitive fossil discoveries, helping us understand the story of early humans. The government of Kenya remains committed to promoting Kenya's global profile as the first home of humanity through relevant ministries, departments, and agencies. Today, as we celebrate Gedi's inclusion on the UNESCO World Heritage Sites list, we also mark 40 years since the discovery of the Turkana boy, the most complete skeleton of the earliest human ancestor ever discovered anywhere in the world. I encourage everyone to visit our heritage sites and monuments and connect directly with humanity's rich past. The government of Kenya remains committed to conserving Kenya's heritage, including our national sites and monuments. Recent initiatives such as the construction of the seawall, Earth for Jesus, rehabilitation of Gedi National Monument, and projects at Wajir Museum, Vasco da Gama Pillar, Thimlich Odinga, Kariandusi, and Hirax Hill prehistoric sites attest to this dedication. I welcome partnerships and collaboration with our many friends, locally and internationally, to advance this and other efforts towards culture conservation and preserving the past so that it can inform the present and inspire the future. Tourism is a significant driver of our economy, contributing through job creation, foreign exchange earnings, and community development. In 2023, we welcome 2.1 million visitors, generating 352 billion in revenues. Our global appeal as a premier tourist destination is undeniable. We are mobilizing investment to attract, as was said by the minister, 5 million tourists annually by 2027, and events like this play a crucial role in achieving this target. Cultural preservation remains central to our tourism strategy. With over 40 ethnic groups, Kenya offers an unparalleled diversity of cultural experiences. Cultural tourism, therefore, drives economic growth and at the same time strengthens our global connections. Additionally, our visa-free policy facilitates international visitors, enhancing Kenya's appeal as a top destination for leisure and business. The National Museums of Kenya is advancing the national product industry, a Vision 2030 flagship project to harness indigenous knowledge for economic growth. Guided by the protection of traditional knowledge and Cultural Expressions Act 2016. This project has trained stakeholders in documentation and digitization, creating country digital registers linked to the Indigenous Knowledge Innovation Bank. This platform enables communities to manage access, negotiate rights, and share benefits, unlocking income opportunities. I thank everyone whose efforts contributed to the inscription of Gedi National Monument on the World Heritage List. I appreciate the dedicated support of UNESCO World Heritage Committee and the National Museums of Kenya in conserving our heritage. And between me and my good friend Gideon Mungaro, the governor of Kilifi, we agreed that we are going to do a wall around Gedi, right? And he has already provided resources to make sure that there is an appropriate road to the place. So I have just committed, and the people of the ministry, we must do a wall in to protect that site. It's only 40 acres, is it? Yeah, 40 acres is not much. It will cost us about 15 million shillings. So tutafanya hiyo, si ndio? Waziri, umesikia? Mwende mufence. So let us build on this achievement and reaffirm our commitment to preserving Kenya's heritage for humanity, for now and for the future. And maybe to wind up by saying we have many more sites that actually qualify to be cultural and heritage sites around Kenya. We must work together to find the mechanism for us to support the different actors and to work with UNESCO so that those can join the list of what the world assets and world heritage that Kenya can contribute to the wealth of knowledge about humanity, about culture, to the world wealth about all these things. So if there is anything that we need to do, I would want to know so that we can do it together. As Prime Cabinet Secretary has said, it's not always that you have a scientist as president. So I am happy to be, and I am a very proud scientist, that we can do this and we can make a contribution to the success and the progress of our nation. Again, to all of you, congratulations. To my colleagues who work at the National Museums of Kenya, congratulations. I would have been one of you if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. But I'm very happy to be here this afternoon. And I look forward to coming back so that we can again do what we must do around this compound. And Mary here, we have agreed we meet Mary, yeah? We agreed that we meet so that she can brief me on the things that we need to do around the museum, and we can catch up. Cynthia? Yeah. Because it's a very proud moment for me. In fact, when her name was brought to my list, to my desk for appointment as the Director General, I asked myself, is this Mary the one I know? And I actually called her and I asked her, did you apply to be? I was very happy that to appoint my own classmate. You know, that's quite something. So I'm really happy to be at the National Museum. Earlier, you may not know, earlier somebody in my office was telling me, why don't we delegate this, because I had too many meetings and there is one waiting for me. But I told them, this one is personal. This one I cannot delegate. Yeah, it involves people who I share a background with. So again, congratulations to UNESCO, congratulations to Kilifi, and I know this function would have been best if it was done in Kilifi. I'm sure we will do another one in Kilifi. Yes.
Let me again, on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, congratulate the UK for making those artifacts available to the people of Kenya and for giving us information that would enrich the relationship between Kenya and the UK. Difficult as it is, complicated as it is, but I have told you one thing, I've said one thing in your presence, that we have many complaints against the British because of colonialism and many other things. But we also have something to thank them for. They left one thing in Kenya that works, and that is a system of government. We have a solid administration system that supports the governance of our country. I have said before, and I will say it again. We appreciate that we inherited a system of government that goes all the way to the grassroots and that works for all of us. Many people have tried to get rid of the so-called national administration, but every other time we discuss we discuss how it can be abolished. The more it becomes a reality that we cannot, because it helps in the governance of the country. So again, I must appreciate on behalf of the people and government of Kenya, the gesture that you have demonstrated is very much welcome, and it consolidates the relationship between our two nations. And as I discussed with the Prime Minister, that we are going to expand, we are going to deepen the relationship between Kenya and the UK. Already we have an agreement on a trade agreement between our two countries that facilitate exports of products from Kenya into the UK, that facilitates trade between our two countries. And we are very proud of the relationship we have with the UK. I want to thank all the other ambassadors. We value your friendship. Thank you very much for making time to come and celebrate this moment with us. And I look forward to working with you, from our friends from France, from Germany, from Oman, from Japan, from China, from Australia, from Eritrea, our neighbors here, and all the other ambassadors. Forgive me if I didn't mention your country. We are very proud that we have this relationship with your countries, and we look forward to strengthening the relationship between Kenya and your countries as we build what is now becoming a global village, that all of us are part and parcel of one another. So thank you very much, and congratulations again, National Museums, for this achievement. Thank you.
A round of applause for His Excellency, and let me take our seats briefly. The icing on the cake, Your Excellency, is the Governor Kilifi and DG Chair to just flank you as we now hand over the migrated archives together with a certificate, which is history that is being made at this point in time. I'll request that. Gedi. The inscription certificate, which is from Unesco. If we can, to His Excellency the President. Can I request that you just stand in line with the President so that we have a clear, yes. All right, thank you.